All right. Oh, come up here. We're gonna tell everybody why we live here, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
So, you're thinking about moving right here to Houston, Texas, and you're wondering, is it gonna be the best fit for you and your family? Well, it has been an amazing decision to move back to Houston and raise my family. And so in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through all of the things I love about it. I'm really gonna show you the nuances of Houston and why I think it's a great place to raise a family. So let's get after it right now. So we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna tell you exactly why I really truly believe that Houston and the surrounding suburbs are an amazing place to raise your family. Before we get into this, if you don't already know from watching our videos, my name's Kyler Ferris, and I'm actually a real estate broker. I'm the broker owner of Ferris Realty. And so I don't just make YouTube videos, I actually run a really large real estate team here in Houston. I've been in real estate for 8 years, and I'm actually a local. So I'm from here. I was born and raised here in the Conroe Woodlands area, and have served everywhere all across Houston. So if you're wanting to know more about Houston, the best way to do that is to subscribe to our channel, tap that bell for notifications. That way we can keep you up to date on everything going on right here in Houston. We really do get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to move here. So if you have any questions, throw them down in the comments. We're really responsive. We would love to help you out. Now, I truly believe, and I hope it comes through as authentic as possible in this video, that Houston offers some of the best family-oriented communities really anywhere I have traveled. I've traveled all across the country, and there's a lot of places that I love to visit. There are a lot of places geographically that I think are better than the Houston area. But when it comes to raising a family, when you're looking at the big picture and you piece everything together, I truly think that Houston is one of the best places to raise a family. Now, when I say Houston in this video, I'm talking about the suburbs. We serve the entire Houston area, but when it comes to families, a lot of families tend to congregate in the outer suburbs. And I'm gonna get into all of those reasons, but the first reason that I moved back here just over 4.5, 5 years ago with my wife is we wanted to start a family, and there were a lot of factors that played into our move. First of all, we wanted to be close to family, so that's one that won't really apply to y'all. But outside of that, it was affordability. So housing affordability was a big deal for us. We were living in Austin. Maybe you're considering Austin as a move as well. But Austin was just getting crowded. It was getting expensive. And Austin is kind of like the California of Texas. So for those of you that are leaving California wanting to move, for certain reasons, you're not going to find that Austin is much different than California when it comes to everything from family values to politics to all of that. Whereas Houston, it really is different. It's and so yeah, we moved here initially for housing affordability. We were able to get a home that would have cost $300,000-$400,000 more in Austin here. The second thing that I really loved about moving here was the concept of a master planned community. So if you've watched any of our videos, we probably are the #1 YouTube channel for master planned communities. We do deep dives on all of them. If you're not familiar with what they are, the brief rundown is a master planned community is a community that's got a ton of different home builders and just a ton of amenities. And the whole goal of a community like this is so that you don't have to leave. You can be there, your friends are there, you can raise your kids in one home all the way up through high school. And so they offered these master plan communities, and we chose to move into one when we moved here, and it was the best decision that we could have ever made. One thing that I like about the suburbs of Houston, as well as specifically these master plan communities, is the sense of community that we have found. So even though I was from here, I had been moved away for a while, and so moving back, I actually didn't really plug into my previous friend group. We have developed a new friend group as a couple and as a family here in our master planned community. And when I tell people and clients that we're talking to all the time, like how great it really is, I don't know if it really truly comes through, but I'm in a group text with over 30 of the husbands in the neighborhood, and the wives group text is even bigger. And so it really is a great place with family and neighborhood events. It's just a really easy way to connect. And I really thought that I was gonna be giving up a lot by leaving downtown Austin and all the cool things that it had to offer. But everything comes in seasons, and this season of life of raising a family and really prioritizing our kids and our family unit, the best place to do that was right here. And so we love the master plan community. Housing affordability was great, but the cost of living here is also better. So it's not just the cost of the home, but it's the cost of everything. You've got all of the amenities that you're going to find in any big city out here in the suburbs, but everything just seems to be a little less expensive, which is really nice. Another thing that I like here in the suburbs is it's not as crowded as more of the urban environments like downtown Houston or like downtown Austin or wherever you're coming from, especially our clients that are relocating from out of state, like really dense areas like New Jersey, New York, California. They typically find it's really refreshing here to have your own space. That's something that you can get in the suburbs. You can get a really nice home out on an acre for a really affordable price. And so that's another reason why we moved our family back here, was to get more space. We were really crowded in Austin, and all we could have afforded at the time was something a lot smaller than what we could get here in the Houston suburbs. So another thing that I really love about the Houston suburbs is I truly believe that there is something about Southern hospitality and just the morals that are in the people here. And so I'm not saying everybody's perfect, but as a whole, the culture here in Texas is just very hospitable. It's very friendly. It's down to earth. It's a little bit laid back. And ultimately, I just feel like the people here have, good morals and good family values. They really appreciate and value the family unit. And that was something that I wanted. I wanted the family unit to be celebrated, where I lived and where I decided to raise my family. So another amazing reason for raising a family here is going to be the schools. And so as you saw, my daughter, she's about to be 3. We've got a son here on the way. And we're not quite to the schools yet, but we've got a day school she goes to, and it's fantastic. But the public schools here are actually great. And so depending on where you're coming from, they can be really spotty. They might not even be an option where you're from. And so we've heard horror stories from past clients and their kids' schools and having to leave. And they've been pleasantly surprised with all of the public schools here. And so a lot of times you can get into the weeds when looking at public schools, but I always tell clients here, you're comparing A's to A minuses most of the time here in these Houston suburbs. And so overall, another great reason to raise a family here is going to be the schools. Not everybody shares the same faith that I do, but I do want to share this. We've gotten some stuff in the comments. There are a lot of churches here. And so no matter what you believe, you're going to be able to find some type of spiritual community here. I will say that it is, they call it the Bible Belt for a reason. And so it's kind of got that, Southern tons of churches vibe. There's a church on every corner basically, but we've really enjoyed our church here, and that's been a really great place to connect. Ours happens to be in our neighborhood, so it couldn't get more convenient. And so that's an even better way to foster and facilitate community. And so if that's something you're looking for here, I do want to communicate to you through the camera. You can find that here, and we have as a family. And so ultimately, I think when you start to add all of those things up, it starts to become very clear that Houston's a great place. And I know I talked down on it a little bit geographically. There is a ton of stuff to do here. So let's start with just the suburbs. So just in our suburb alone, I personally live in Conroe, but a lot of the suburbs are going to offer similar amenities. But there's tons of nature stuff to do. You've got the Sam Houston National Forest. You can go on hikes. There's usually hike and bike trails in the neighborhoods. And the neighborhoods are usually centered around the kids. And so our neighborhood, for example, has a resort style pool. It's got a gym that's all included in the HOA, so you can go work out whenever you want. It's got multiple lakes for fishing and kayaking and hiking and biking. It's got neighborhood events that are curated for the kids, which is really cool. Photos with Santa and stuff like that. Then it's got adult events, so not for the kids if you just want to go hang out and mingle and get a babysitter. And so in the neighborhood, you're going to have splash pads in a lot of these neighborhoods, which are the little pop jet fountains. You're going to get playgrounds. Always look for shade here in Texas. If you don't know already, it gets very hot here. So a lot of shaded playgrounds here in the Houston suburbs. Those are amazing. I mean, I can't think of better things to do with kids than let them go play on the playgrounds. And we have tons of them. We've got parks everywhere here. And so really, when it comes to things to do with the family, usually within 5 minutes, you've got a ton of different options. And then if you want to go down into the city, that's a great option too. They've got, more things that are maybe unique experiences like the zoo. or the Children's Museum, or day trips down to Galveston, take the kids to the beach. That's an option here as well. You also have Lake Conroe up on the north side of Houston. So if you want to go rent a boat for the weekend, take the kids out, teach them how to ski or tube, there's just tons of options for families. And so there's also a lot of kids places here in the suburbs, like indoor trampoline parks, places for birthday parties, all of that stuff. So it's very heavily geared towards families. And then as you work your way out to, Houston is a great travel hub. So if your traveling is a big priority for you and your family, you're gonna be able to just hop right over to the two main airports here. We've got Hobby on the south side of Houston, which is the smaller airport. And then we've got Bush Intercontinental right here on the north side of Houston. It's about 28 minutes from my house, and it's very, very, very convenient to travel. And so I don't think I'm missing anything. I just really wanted to communicate to you that if you're looking for a great place to raise your family, there are some nuances amongst the Houston suburbs. We try to dissect those in our videos, but it really is helpful if you are looking to move here to reach out. We're going to contact you back immediately. A member from our team that knows the areas really well is going to really be able to deep dive and answer your specific questions, because we get all of the questions. We get asked about tornadoes and mosquitoes and hurricanes and schools and jobs. And so we really get asked about all of those. One more thing that I think is important if you're looking to raise a family here too, is you do have really good business opportunities here. So moving my business here was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. Obviously, it worked out well with the real estate market, but just growing a business here, it's very friendly entrepreneurially. There's no state income tax. And so ultimately, what I have found is that the local governments here in Texas want to promote business. They're not trying to restrict you. We didn't have all of the restrictions that a lot of other states had during the COVID lockdowns. We didn't have, mandatory shutdowns for businesses. We were open for business, especially up here in Montgomery County. People weren't requiring vaccines. That's a polarizing topic, but ultimately, Texas and the Houston area really stood by the just more on the side of freedom and letting people make that choice for themselves, not having the government make it for you. And so for all of those reasons, I love living here. As much as I'd love to be on the beach in San Diego sometimes, that's more for vacation. But for raising a family, I plan to raise my kids here. We don't plan to leave. We absolutely love it. And if you've got a family that you're looking to raise, I highly recommend looking into these Houston suburbs. So thanks so much for watching. Go check out some of our other videos. See these master plan communities, see the suburbs around Houston. And when you're ready, don't be shy. Reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us a quick email. That way we can help you make a smooth move right here to Houston, Texas.